MRN Crew Call is brought to you by Hercules Tires.
Hey, I'm Steve Post from Motor Racing Network. Thanks for joining us here on Crew Call. We are so glad you're spending some time and checking out and following along with us. One of the great organizations within the NASCAR community is Motor Racing Outreach, the ministry that ministers to the industry. COVID-19, coronavirus, life as we now know it in 2020. How is that impacting us? How is that impacting Motor Racing Outreach? Billy Mauldin is the president of Motor Racing Outreach. We'll talk to him about that and just about their ministry in general when we come back.
Sir, are you aware you were going 40 miles an hour? This is a residential area.
Sure, but I'm on my lawnmower? Wait, am I getting a ticket?
No, I've just never seen anyone top 9 miles an hour on one of those bad boys. And mow their entire lawn in 30 seconds? What got into you?
Well, it did fuel up at Sunoco this morning.
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. We've been doing it for American racing for over 50 years. Fuel your best.
Welcome back to Crew Call. Great having you join us here on the Motor Racing Network. And we're going to the Zoom line. I think that's what I'm calling it. It's such a different world. Billy Mauldin, president of Motor Racing Outreach, joins us. Hey, Billy, how are you?
Hey, Steve, I'm good. Good to see your face.
Yeah, I know. It's good to see your face too. Billy, the Motor Racing Outreach, and let's actually start with that. You are the face-to-face ministry in the NASCAR community, and so this has had to be drastically different the way things have been for the last month.
Oh, much so. I mean, we're used to being face-to-face with people, being able to interact with them, talk to them. I mean, even seeing your face right now where you can see somebody else's eyes is a big part of relationships and so forth. And not being able to be around people makes it a lot tougher on us. It's hard on us. But we, like everybody else, have just adapted. We've taken advantage of technology and taught ourselves new things over the last month so that we can stay connected with folks using Zoom. Thank goodness we were using this up to a couple of years ago. So this wasn't new technology to us, but it's been fun watching other people come on board and take advantage of it. And even in our case, we've been able to share our account with other folks who are a part of our ministry and what we do so that they could do Bible studies and other things remotely that in the past they would have never thought of this. But, using streaming to continue to provide chapel services and other things of encouragement, social media, we've just tried to be as creative as we possibly can to mainly just let people know we haven't forgot about them. It's not so much that we're trying to be remembered ourselves, but we want other folks out there, because there's a lot of folks that are lonely right now too with all of this that's going on. And there's a lot of folks that are still very nervous and very scared. And just to have a familiar voice come across to them, even if it's through streaming and social media, seems to still be making a real positive difference in people's lives.
Billy, I want to touch on that COVID-19 lifestyle that we're all leading, the loneliness and that sort of thing. But I actually want to go back first before I get to that. Just in general terms, I know there's some people following along with us here that maybe you're not all that familiar with Motor Racing Outreach. Pre-COVID-19, what all did MRO do in the industry?
You know, Steve, the easiest way I explain it to people is I say we're basically the local church to a traveling NASCAR community, but that also includes the race shops and folks that are at home, on the weekends as well. But anything a local church provides to a community, whether it's services, weddings, unfortunately, time to time, memorials, funeral services, kids programming, adult programming, stuff just for men, just for women, to help them grow in their faith and to help them in their walk with the Lord. That's what MRO does. We just don't have a building. We have a couple of motor homes and a trailer that we use at the track to help host events and do things like that. But really, anything that a local pastor would provide to a local congregation, we do it. We just do it underneath tire tents at one track and a media center at another track and then the driver owner lot at another track, wherever God will open up a place for us to meet, or just one-on-one in the garage. I mean, honestly, Steve, a lot of the stuff that we do that is helpful to other people is just walking around in the garage and in race shops, just talking with people one-on-one where they can kind of open up their hearts and ask us questions that are really tough for them at that point in their life.
It is amazing, and you guys do a wonderful job as a active participant in one of the Bible studies. And occasionally, the schedule allows chapel service on Sunday morning. But I truly love and respect the ministry that you guys provide. All right, let's go back into COVID-19 now, if you will. And you talked about it. I think social distancing from the health perspective is certainly helping us, or that's what they say it's helping us. But are you running into a lot of challenges that people are dealing with loneliness, with not having the routine, with not being at the racetrack?
Yeah, this moment in time is a lot different right now, because not only do you have the things that are challenges to individuals and families that are directly related to COVID-19, loss of income, jobs, different things of that nature. But I mean, still day to day, we're dealing with people that are at the hospitals because a baby was born premature, or another situation where a family member is dealing with substance abuse and we're trying to support them and get them help. There's everything that was normally going on in life that was challenging and difficult to people is still going on right now. But in the past, we could go meet with them. We could go sit with them. And as chaplains, that's probably the hardest part right now, is in order to be faithful and do our part with the social distancing so that we can get all this behind us, we can't go and be right there with the people. And then again, we probably spend the vast majority of our time just talking with people one-on-one that are just sorting through, being at home so much by themselves, and then adding on top of that, not so sure if they're going to have a job or how long a paycheck, or they've already lost it, quite frankly. And they don't have the funds but to take them so long, and they need somebody that'll talk to them sometimes, that they don't have to put up the good front. We're good, particularly in NASCAR. We'll put up that good front, the big smile, everything's okay, we got it, we'll pull ourselves up by the bootstraps kind of mentality. But there's a lot of people right now that just aren't feeling that, and they need somebody to come alongside of them. And sometimes just sit there and say, your fear, your anxiety, your anger, your frustrations, they're very normal responses to a very abnormal situation that we're all going through right now. So let's talk about some things in ways maybe your faith can help you, and so forth.
Yeah, it is. It's a different time. It really truly is. It's just strange. It really is. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. That's for sure. Unlike anything any of us have ever seen. Billy, you talk about the new technology, and I've looked at some of the numbers of church services. Okay, you talk about doing a church service under the tire tent. We used to do that in Martinsville all the time. Well, there ain't no way the number of people tuning into your church services could ever fit under that tent. Is there this downtime has allowed the message to maybe reach some more people?
Yeah, I think so, because it's out on the internet and it's available to anybody and everybody, and all our stuff is on our website, motorracingoutreach.com. People can access it whenever they want. So yesterday morning, to try to give a sense of normalcy, so to say, as the iRacing was scheduled to go off, the NASCAR iRace at 1:30 yesterday, we did our chapel and aired it online at what would have been the normal time at the track, which was right around 11:30. Unfortunately, yesterday morning, we had some technical glitches, and we weren't able to get it aired right at that same time. But what was interesting was the number of texts or Facebook posts where people said, hey, don't worry about it. Actually, our mornings are busy. We would rather watch it later on this evening anyway, when you put it back up online. And so people can access information and take advantage of it as they're trying to figure out their own schedules right now. So what we've just kind of realized is take the things that God's putting on our heart, whatever it may be, put it out there, and then let people come and find it and access it at a time that's convenient to them. And then we get the follow-up texts and emails if something really touched somebody's heart.
Really neat, that's for sure. Final question for you, Billy, and this is more of a macro question. It's MRO, it's NASCAR related, but it's world related. A lot of times when we deal with crisis situations, folks turn to faith or spirituality. We saw full churches after the 9/11 attacks. Just in broad terms, are you seeing that? Are you sensing that? Are you hearing that with this pandemic we're going through?
Yeah, there's no question that's happening. And it's just basically boils down to one simple thing. We're used to being in control of our lives. And then when all of a sudden we're no longer in control of things, as that lack of control ramps up, people start looking around for different answers than themselves. And I believe what we're able to do is help folks understand that there's more going on in this world than just ourselves. Yeah. That there is a God, there is a Heavenly Father, there is faith, there is truths that can be tapped into probably at a time like this that's more important than ever before. And so as people start to understand that, it provides a little bit of hope. And the hardest part about a time like this is you feel like you're on a dead-end road or you're in a valley with no exit and things are getting dark. But when all of a sudden people realize that there really is a God and that there's more to this than just what we think or what we can control, and they begin to look to Him, then what happens is a little bit of light comes into that darkness, which is hope to our hearts and our souls. And that's what we're seeing people begin to find and discover, in some cases fresh and anew, in some cases for the first time. Whichever it is, doesn't matter to us. We just want people to understand and know that through this all, God's love for them has not changed one bit.
Yeah, there's a truth for you for eternity, that's for sure. Billy, we appreciate you joining us here on Crew Call today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you, Steve.
There we go. That is Billy Mauldin, president of Motor Racing Outreach. Stay with us. More Crew Call in just a moment.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTire.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
So glad you're spending some time with us here on Crew Call today, and we appreciate that. Appreciate Billy Mauldin joining us from Motor Racing Outreach. Hey, you know what? If you have a question, maybe it's even a topic idea that you'd like us to address on Crew Call or on all of our programming here on Motor Racing Network, why don't you reach out to us? You can reach us on Twitter at MRN Radio. Use the hashtag AskMRN, and who knows, maybe your question will be our topic on a future edition of Crew Call. I'm Steve Post from Motor Racing Network. Thank you for joining us here on Crew Call.
MRN Crew Call was brought to you by Hercules Tires.